Okay, we have a new chapter of One Piece. The chapter title is a very poetic and seemingly metaphorical little line, like a dragon gives wings. And I'm not really sure how literally to take this, given that we are in Wano and there is actually one gigantic dragon running around. But I would think more that it's some sort of metaphorical statement on the status of the rebellion movement. But I'm also extremely intrigued by the cover story here. So Capone Beige loaded up with his crew, his new ship, I Heart Family, all these really cartoony drawings on it. He's become a family man, you know, he's got to consider what his kid likes. Trying to get through the red line, I'm assuming using either those crazy tank apparatus type things that he has on his ship that could maybe climb up a wall or something. Well, that was his older ship, I believe. Uh, and then, or he could go down to Fishman Island route. Uh, but I can't do either of that because of the Reverie. So it could be that the cover story starts interfering with things happening at the Reverie, or at least helps us learn what transpired since that shocking cliffhanger where we saw perhaps the true queen of the world who sits on the empty throne. We saw the Revolutionary Army about to engage in a gigantic attack, perhaps an outright war against the Celestial Dragons and their bodyguards and cohorts and stuff. We knew that there was high-powered Marines lurking around, and then it was just like, whoosh, nothing more. Time for Wayne up. I don't know. What's happening with the Reverie? I really want to know. Anyways, this is chapter 954. Let's see what happens. Zoro was just offered a new sword to replace Sushui, whatever it was called. Sushui? Can't give away your memento of Lord Odin. My father, Kazuki Odin, was a swordsman who wielded two full-size swords. The day before his education, an execution! Holy God, those are very different things. I said education. Execution. He entrusted one of his swords to my brother and one to me. My brother was given Ame no Habakiri, which is like the reign of Habakiri. And I was given Enma, which is like a lord of Japanese hell, I believe. Let's see. Both katana are very fine make, forged by two famed bladesmiths of Ueno. Musuk, some strange man from God knows where lays hands upon Lord Odin's precious sword. Do you not know how Shui of Ruma, god of the blade, fell into your hands, sir? It's a sacred treasure in this country, and its theft was a national tragedy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Moria just came and took it when he ransacked the corpse as well. So, Zoro considering this. It's one of his really iconic swords, that black blade. I did share combo with Ryuma, or at least his corpse. I returned the sword, but you gotta let me visit his grave later. Yeah, that's kind of nice of him. This is Zoro kind of showing some respect. And even though he's staunchly atheistic and doesn't participate in many kind of rituals or superstitions or anything like that, we have seen him giving respect to dead people and stuff in the past. More because he just kind of gets some inner peace himself from it, I think, instead of thinking that there's any sort of supernatural connection that he can make with the departed person, right? That's just the kind of guy he is. Visiting a grave, that's just a good time for him. Okay, meanwhile, Samurai and Raisetsu still not been released. Locke confronting Hawkins. He's got the upper hand now. You can see that Hawkins is lying in several pieces here. You're tricked, betrayed. Scratch Poo was in Kaido's employ all along. That monster Kaido said to us, I will gladly take you if you agree to join me. He's always in search of mighty soldiers. It's how he will build his almighty army. My chances of victory in that situation were 0%. I don't know if he actually did a reading right there on the spot in that famous scene where Kaido stares down the three of them. He must though, yeah, because he knows the full spread here. Chance of successful save 0. Chance of survival upon surrender 40. Didn't have any other choice. Kid and Killer were different. They stood up to him and fight him until they could fight no longer. Won't kill men of such strong dispositions who will attempt to break their spirit so they obey him. So this is, of course, what he did to Luffy. With that Pirate King, you... and he sent him to the prison camp, hoping that he would eventually give in and become a soldier of the Animal Kingdom pirates, just as Killer had done before. Of course, Killer ate the smile fruit, so it wasn't really like he was doing it of sound mind. This is quite the torture chamber that they're hanging out in here. Can't imagine Kid will ever submit. He will die. Tell the rest of his crew, do this or that, or your captain dies. They become Orochi's pawns. 4 emperors are different creatures from you or I. Ordinary logic does not apply to them. Your alliance with Straw Hat seems to be going well. I don't even... I guess it is. Like, really. Everything has been going roughly according to plan. But I feel like there's some sarcasm here from Hawkins, because Hawkins knows what a lunatic Luffy is, and that Law is like the total antithesis of him in terms of consideration and deliberation and following a plan. Okay, so he slices here. He does something to shut Hawkins up. I'm sure he doesn't kill him, but he makes him pretty useless at the moment. Letting me walk as part of your plot, they consider me a willing participant. Okay, so who is this that Traffy here addresses as he leaves? I do not know. Meanwhile, back at the Udon labor camp. Kaido Skin, I want you to recall your utter defeat. Recall how your strength amounted to nothing. Don't have time, the enemy is a monster, but you can do this. Ooh, so they've got a gigantic sheet of steel for Luffy to just pound away at. And we're now 5 days until the raid. The way that the time is counting down throughout this chapter makes me think there's not going to be many chapters. Like, I don't think there'll be any more incidents between now and the actual all-out war. It's just going to be this kind of progression of time, showing people training, showing people preparing and stuff. I don't know if there's going to be really any more events. Kind of everything is lined up now. There's nobody still waiting in captivity or whatever to get the signal. You know, everything is just it's just time to go. Okay, way back in Kuri. Alteration to the riddle image you hold. And 2 lines to the stomach of the Viper. Okay. Ship's back in super shape. This is the ship repair team, of course, Frankie heading it up. There's all sorts of animal friends to help him. Oh, Usopp's there too. Nice, nice. There's a giraffe in the back. Just like Kaku. My beloved Kaku. Okay, and Udon, they're doing weapons prep. And Ringo, of course, they're hauling out katanas by the truckload. The Yakuza rousing team, of course. Lord Hyogo, having enlisted all of the Yakuza bosses. All the Wano people figured it out right away. So it doesn't mean that the Viper has 2 extra lines. Wiper? Hey, that's the guy from Skypiea. Remember Wiper? You know, he had that bazooka. That guy was sweet. Not make sense unless you knew the name of Wano's ports. Drawing of a pit viper Habu indicates a destination of Habu Port. 2 legs have been added to it. Each port of Wano has a name that suggests a different animal. By attaching legs to the Viper, it becomes a lizard, or Tokage. Ah, okay. That's kind of fun. So they're changing it up from Habu Port to Tokage Port. However, altering the meeting place of the plan to keep the details away from our cunning foes, Lord Yasuo is able to ensure our raid continues all in one clean stroke. Yeah, okay. So I guess the hope is that nobody on the enemy team is going to be able to work out the significance of the snake now meaning Tokage, or the fact that the snake in the first place was referring to Habu Port. It makes sense, because like those guys don't give a shit about anything. Orochi and them. And of course, Kaido is an outsider to Wano, so he may not know things like that. Okay. This dude is an incredible man. Tried the help of our savior to his dying moment. Shame upon me to fail to make it count. Oh, this is a spread. Look at their team. It's growing and growing. Must be the guardian deities of all of Wano. Still be problems to conquer, but with your help, including accumulating manpower at an ideal rate, we're done Denjiro at last. But we 7 vassals of Kozuki gathered. Alright, look at all these powerful, powerful people here. I'm pretty excited. I just love that Dogstrom and the Cat Viper are here too. Or Dogstrom is here. Is the Cat Viper here? Is this not nighttime? I don't remember. Okay, the strategy meeting, which they have wisely not even bothered inviting Luffy to, because it just wouldn't matter. At this point, they've just given up. He'll do what he wants. We can maybe anticipate what he'll do and then plan accordingly to that, but we can't possibly tell him to do what he was already planning on doing, or not planning, but what he was already going to do, because then, of course, he won't end up doing that. So it's better to just totally leave him out of it. Actually, 2 methods of entering the land of Wano. One is the risky method of being pulled up by Koifish, which is what our brave heroes did, probably unaware that there was another way. The Splitter Waterfall and pass through the caves. No safe passage without the permission of Kaido and Orochi. Okay, so the cave is a lot safer. You just go through this cave, go to the port, a big gondola. But of course the gondola is under the control of the Shogun, so unless they give you the okay, you're not coming up that way. So it was necessary for them to jump up with the koi. But this makes a lot more sense, because that was so dangerous. And, you know, normal people ideally go to Wano. Not these days, of course, because the Shogun has locked down the country, but, you know, under more peaceful Wano days, it was probably had some tourists and stuff. Upon reaching the top of the shaft, find yourself in the domain of Hakumai. Hakumai. Whoa, hey! It's Scratchman Apu! Everyone's just talking about him. I was wondering, like, if he was a servant of Kaido, where is he now? Is he just off doing his own thing? But yeah, he's here. He wants the party. Okay. So that's another enemy they have to contend with. Pretty fun enemy for sure. We get to see more of his weird and wacky devil fruit, where he can just make noise and cause people's limbs to explode and stuff. Seems pretty imba. If he was against anything but a Logia user way back on Sabaody, I feel like he would have done a lot more damage. Seems the numbers have returned. Coming to the party too. I hate those guys. They're such messy trunks. King and Queen hanging out. Ooh. Ooh, this is a cool. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so first off, the numbers. They look pretty dang cool. They're huge. Who are these people? Are these all Devil Fruit users, I guess? Or are these actual, like, monsters that Kaido has gotten from somewhere? So many things are contained within this world, and we're at the point of end-gaminess, where Kaido and other pirates on his tier have the resources to get anything under their control. So who are these giants? Like, could be anything. Could be anything. And look at this. Big Mom and Kaido. The Animal Kingdom Pirates and the Big Mom Pirates are going to be forming a pirate alliance. Once we've worked together to take over the world, then we can finish our fight to the death. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. That's how it's going to be. Next chapter hits September 13th. Uh-oh. Wait. No, I guess there is a missing week. Dang. Dang. Alright. Good chapter. Things coming into place. The enemy forces are massive, but so are our heroes. I want to see some of the festivities before the raid. I want to see what it is that everyone's so excited for with the Fire Festival, and not just the destructive aftermath of the raid during it. Alright, this is going to be a lot of fun. Okay. See you then. Bye-bye.